Pigeons 420. Mr. Grow It. From the stack.
Step into the light of the future with AC Infinity's Ion Frame LED Grow Light. Powered by industry-leading Samsung LM301H EVO diodes, it delivers unparalleled brightness and efficiency. Designed for serious growers, it offers a full spectrum of coverage, precise scheduled controls, as well as innovative sunrise and sunset dimming for a natural light cycle. Its modular, easy-to-manage system ensures optimal heat dissipation and seamless integration with all the smart grow setups that AC Infinity already offers. Experience growth without limits and results that speak for themselves. AC Infinity's Ion Frame EVO Series lights illuminate your path to exceptional yields and dank quality. Learn more at acinfinity.com and use discount code THESTASH15 at checkout to save some money on your order.
Are you a grower? Are you tired of lugging around too many bottles? Is it too expensive? Is it so confusing? Tired of reading feed charts? Well, guess what? There is an easier way. Introducing the Stash Blend. You can now get your bag of Stash Blend premium additives that you can add to your garden using just about any base nutrients. Go to stashblend.com and get your order today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back!
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
That's a show.
And Mace.
Pardon?
And also Mace made a song.
It's a Mace
Welcome
song.
back.
Welcome back.
Yes, I didn't realize that, and I used to just say it. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
I remember that.
I don't. I had no idea how to reference it.
Mace was breathing, he was stretching, he was shaking, he was letting it go.
I was like, what show? And they referenced the show in which this
song,
Riff Raff, is from. And here I am in the start. No, it's not. These guys make fun of me because I am uncultured with just about every television reference they make. And it's frustrating to me, okay? I remember Ricky Lake, okay? And Darkwing Duck.
Your
Jerry Springer.
Your uncle remembered all. He was dropping America quotes over here. Your uncle was.
He was, yeah.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Mark.
So we had Uncle Mark pull up and bring us his entire stash. Shout out to him. His entire stash. Like I haven't had anybody come by and be like, find something you'll like, and just hand me
big.
I mean, yeah. Oh yeah, above average.
We're talking like 50 different cultivars or more.
At
like
least?
50. At least 50.
At least
right?
50 in the first few bags.
Strains.
Yeah.
I would say in the bag, the two bags had a dozen different genetics in it.
Oh.
And then there was two of those, and there was another bag of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably another 8 to 10. And then we'll say 50. We'll say there was about a good 50 to 60, 70 different cultivars, genetics at least. Again, Wink's over there like, at least. Okay, he brought 100 different samples for us to try. And we're trying to be conservative, so we'll go with 75.
Do I hear 150?
150 it was.
150.
Gas.
There was some good product in that bag. I'll give it to him. Give it to him. And this
legacy,
is all his craft.
Craft, gray market, Canadian kind of. Very good. Very good. I was impressed.
It was very good. And I actually, as I had seen
4
him
years old, some of it.
Yeah.
And it was still fresh.
Yep.
Like it was fresh enough that it needed a drying cure with some of it. 4 years ago.
His secret, freezer.
Freeze dry or freeze bag. What is it?
Vacuum sealed and freezer bags. Double sealed.
Then put into a freezer.
Double sealed, not double bagged.
That may potentially act as an insulator to the flower. And why it's not so bad in being directly in the freezer. That's what I'm thinking.
Or?
The double bag and the freezer bag all comboed up. You know what I'm saying?
When I seen him out, I shook his hand. I said, thanks, Mark. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate you bringing the stash. We had somebody stop by in Vegas and bring us a good quality supply of concentrate.
Oh, shout out to Swag.
Shout out to Swag. But honestly, this was,
he knows those
actually.
And flour, too.
On the flour, that was the freeze dried. Oh, and Eric Nug Shots too.
I was just gonna say Nug Shots,
but
the only thing that I would say Mark had on Nug Shots was the sheer supply.
Yeah,
Nug Shot brought like maybe 6, 8, 10, 12.
Yeah, he was giving us some tips on Buford. So I think there's a lot of there's a lot of insight when you see. Cause I'm from Michigan, so we've been legal in some capacity since 2008. And it's been interesting to see things shift and change. And that felt like a caregiver stash that I was going through. You know what I'm saying? Totally felt like a caregiver stash. Same with what we grabbed ourselves. I'm not going to even pull it out. Same with what we grabbed ourselves just for the travel trips. So we didn't blow through all of P's stash. That was just caregiver quality. This,
We're burning through it.
We're burning right through it. But you're going to have some reserve and left over. There's no way we're going to get through all of it. Now you got some new to swap it with.
It's a long tubing ride.
You're right. And I am a heavy consumer. But
And the last time we were in Canada, we smoked how many blunts? Yeah. We'll let that edit out. So what are we going to be talking about today, gentlemen?
I feel
We got a
like
good one. We got a banger.
One
We got
thing
a banger.
that Uncle Mark didn't have that more and more people are having, some accidentally, is products that are
infused.
spray terps?
Sprayed? Well,
Infused products? Is that what kind of?
I think not just sprayed.
None of
So
those.
infused in any way. Infused with terpenes, infused with extracts.
Nah, he had
Maybe
some
food is
good
infused. It was straight
premium
flour.
Canadian flour, and
Old
I'm very
school,
thankful
new
you could
school.
bring some high representative product. And in fairness, if I may, the only kind of weak stuff we've had has been the dispo stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out and wager and say that it's not at the fault of the cultivar or the breeder or no grower,
Cultivator.
the grower
Cultivator.
There we go. I knew it was
Vader.
cultivator taking on Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Bars.
The process in order to get it to the shelf is flawed. It takes a lot of regulation, or it takes a lot of transport, regulation, hands in the pot. That kind of hinders the process of it. Stuff he had didn't handle that. So I don't blame, in most cases, I don't blame the cultivator in regards to their product. It's what has to happen for it to make it on the shelf that makes it inferior.
Well, and this is where the infusion is usually inferior. Oftentimes, so people who don't understand the infusion process is, let's say you have a doobie, or even food, and you want to be able to make it so it has a potency level that's higher. A lot of times you'd add either an extract in the form of a distillate, which would be a chemically extracted extract, or a natural extract, which would be a rosin most times. Sometimes live resin, but traditionally it would be rosin or distillate. And more times than not, the distillate is going to have botanical grade terpenes added to it. So it's going to be, potentially plant derived terpenes, but it's going to be artificially added to the product, which has perks and benefits and pros and cons. But the flavor for me, some people love it. But the flavor for me is so damn fake and oftentimes so harsh. And the flour that they use within these infused products is so inferior, just trim, old, nasty product. And then they just spray it with distillate that's flavored. And they'll sell it for $20 for a single gram joint. It's insane. And some people really like that. I mean, Jeter's in Michigan and California, and I believe Colorado too, somewhere else, but they're one of the biggest brands out there, and they're so sought after somehow, some way. People are buying them left and right because it's such a unique, like, you'll hit it and be like, wow, that was cotton candy. Wow, that was blueberry. And it's like, no, that was chemicals.
Crime.
Yeah.
That was a bloody crime.
Yeah.
I'm so frustrated. I've been covering this quite a bit over the weeks on TOP. I didn't realize the market for this candy
They
product.
want it, dude.
It's coated in this blue and this pink and this purple, this yellow, and it's like you're literally walking through a chocolate factory or a candy machine, looking at your product. It's very clearly over sprayed.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is it sprayed, dipped? How
Yeah,
is it applied?
oftentimes
I'm
it's
gonna assume
sprayed.
it's coated.
So what they'll do more times than
the
not
veg.
is they'll
Let me adjust this real quick. Sorry.
you're good. You can hear me. It's good. He's gonna do his thing. What they'll do is they'll end up not distillate. So they'll take the distillate, and then to get it to go through these sprayers, oftentimes they'll decarboxylate this. So they'll put it through and cook it for a little bit. It gets it extremely thin and easier to be activated right away by the heat without having to really have it combusted as much. They'll take that, they'll add in some botanical terps, and they'll spray it. They'll literally spray the joint down, and then they'll take that, and then they'll usually roll it into keef. And that keef is just the most dirty, grimy, smells like your closet keef, 9 times out of 10. And it's harsh as hell. So then you hit it, it's really, really strong flavored, sharp flavored, expands in your lungs. So if you're a rookie smoker, you're like, oh, damn,
Very
that's
harsh.
Yeah, super harsh, incredibly harsh, to the point where like I've had people hitting them and I hit it and I'm like immediately old man cough style, where it's like I'm basically combusting myself, internal combustion, and it's not something that maybe everybody dislikes who's a consumer, but those who have had the good stuff, it's like you're going from eating the naturally derived fruit to now just having nothing but synthetic blueberry, and that you're having blue raspberry. How many blue raspberries have you guys had? Actual fucking, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I always remember when people used to say, "Hey, man, I've got that cotton candy, man. I got that cotton candy." And I remember as a kid when I used to ingest this stuff. Like I used to ingest it, and it tasted like cotton candy, and I thought, "Wow, I had the cotton candy, bro." Let me tell you, this stuff was just like eating a cotton candy, man. Then the very first grow I ever had, it was the genetic I had was cotton candy. And I thought, because I thought, this is the one I want. I knew I loved it. This is the one I wanted. Then I realized, then I read the description and I realized cotton candy has nothing to do with how the flavor of the product is. The inhale is soft like cotton, and the exhale is sweet like candy. Nowhere in there does the genetic cotton candy have anything to do with the taste of cotton candy. And I just thought, wow, what did I ingest? And am I going to be okay? It's frustrating to me that it seems to me that when we talk about infusion, or we talk about, and I'm really passionate about this and it kind of angers me, and I'll get into that more in a second because I just want to dive in so much. It kind of angers me that when we talk about infusion, or when we talk about sprayed or artificial terps, they're trying to sell you something that they couldn't do themselves.
yeah, it's inferior product that they just added artificial terpenes to.
Thank you for putting an American spin on my Canadian rant. Yes,
Yeah.
that's how it feels. That's how it feels. And that frustrates me because as somebody who is a mediocre grower at best, I have managed to still get quality terps in my product. And if I can do it, what on earth are you doing wrong that you need to infuse this with garbage to get it on the sales? And then this is the education part. People are like, I got that cotton candy, bro. And it's like, yeah, you do, but you're also looking at a closed casket in about 15 years.
Well, and it's like the
they need
e-cig
to
shit,
make
people
money.
like it.
They need to make money, right? So one time I had an infused product. I'll never forget this because it's so memorable. My old roommate, he comes home with he's a DJ on a party boat, and so a bunch of rich guys.
That's why you ditched us at 420 to smoke. It makes sense.
Yeah, a bunch of rich guys on a party boat. One of them owned, was in the industry, owned a canning company, and he ended up gifting the DJ, my roommate, a infused something that was sprayed down and rolled the keef, just like you had mentioned, similar to that, right? And it's supposed to be high THC. The packaging was beautiful, and he pulls it out, and I'm like, oh, this smells pretty good. It smells different, and it's rolled in keef. Let's get fired up.
Yeah.
And so, like, we lit it up. We're in my backyard, and we're smoking this, and I remember the flavor. It's just more chemically flavor, not so much natural. Definitely did not come from, that plant naturally. So there's some type of infusion that happened there, but I felt nothing. My roommate felt nothing. What was it? CBD infused? Like what?
Yeah.
I don't know. But like a bunch of rich guys on a boat raving about this.
Slept great.
He's like, my joints were really
it was
good.
terrible. So like I have not had a good experience with infused stuff.
So the other kind of infusion that a lot of people do like are what's called hash holes. And these are when you got a doobie or blunt, and you'll hollow out the center with a skinny little, like a skewer. And then inside of that, you'll make a worm of rosin and put that in there. And they burn pretty damn good because of the way that the joint is packed and rolled. It can like evenly burn through, so the rosin almost vaporizes and melts through there. You can see it. I think Eric Nugshots has done videos, I believe, where you can actually see the rosin slowly burning through the hash hole. And those are tasty and get you twisted. Oftentimes, the flower can be a little bit more mediocre. It's not good if it is, but can be if the rosin is fire. And with that, they'll still oftentimes decarb the rosin to put that in there just so it's more malleable. But I always just feel like you're killing off the terps. You know, you got to be. If you're decarboxylating at 200 degrees, you're killing your terps. But those get you so flabbergastedly baked. Like I remember it was me, Wink, and Trey driving home one day, and Wink was sleeping in the back seat. He was out cold, and me and Trey didn't talk for like 40 minutes on the ride home, just like silent, awkward silence, nothing, just straight up faded. And those are a better experience. The problem is you're oftentimes paying $20 to $40 for a joint. One joint. One. Can't bring myself to do it. The infusion side is
they're
good.
good infused
But
products.
those are usually pretty good
I
infused
was
products.
going to
Bad
share a
infused
positive experience with Infused as well. For those that are seeing me, we conveniently have a garden space just off to our right that has a fan that very conveniently is supplied by AC Infinity. Promo code TheStash15 that is taking the incense and it's just taking it right out.
We use incense in here because we don't like we're Buddhists.
It's so effective. I didn't realize how amazing that thing actually works.
And I was burning sage right there. If you saw that in my hand, that was sage that I was burning.
So we have been blessed.
Yes.
Perfect.
By someone who's been almost blessed by a rabbi.
That's cute.
I've gone to shul. The synagogue knows your boy. Go up to Bad House. But, yeah. So we're good. We're good.
That's great.
Just want to put that out there.
I had a joke there. I'm not going to say it. So needless to say, I was going to share a positive experience as well. I really enjoy when companies aren't using the shake of their product and just wrapping it up in keef and then just drizzling a little oil on it and calling that quality stuff and selling that for $25 a J. That to me is unacceptable. I digress because I want to express the avenue of what I think can be done with that product aside from feeding it to the
Giving
chickens.
it to the homeless.
The homeless.
Yeah, we've
Is
done
one.
that.
I agree. I came off a little facetious. That's one. Yes. The idea though that I was going to share an experience. Chris from Black Tie and I shouldn't have said that. Edit. He and I enjoyed a very enjoyable. It was I can't give you any of the specifics, but essentially it was it seemed like, this is my experience, it was premium flour, rolled in keef, draped, rolled in oil. And OMG, it was amazing.
Like a moon rock joint.
And that's what I want. And this is why I'm a little skeptical. Because on Tea with P, I see these companies, when I start seeing a manufactured process of these moon rocks, these infused J's, I am very skeptical, because this is not a dude at home who grew his own plant, had an incredible harvest, got really excited, said, you know what, I'm going to try to make a moon rock out of this concentrate that I made from the exact same plant or the harvest before, and they're just going to combine it, and they're going to roll it in keef that they've been supplying. I believe that the home, because he's not selling it, he's smoking it himself.
Yeah.
So it's going to be something adventurous and exciting, and like, yes, please. Are there companies that are selling those products? I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are.
Yeah, man. But
I'm just afraid that that's not the case. They're taking shake, clamping it up or budding it up.
Yeah.
Wrapping that in, I don't know. I'm very skeptical.
That's more times than not. That's what the people are doing. Is where you hide these product is in an infused product. That's where it goes. But there's also those that like GT Rolling Co. in Michigan that they pride themselves on good product. They're usually licensed out deals where they're working with another cultivator in an extraction lab, and then they're processing the products. So they're getting what they get. But if it's a GT roll that's going to smoke good, Then there's other brands. I think Eastside Alchemy is another one in Detroit. But the pre-rolls, you just know, are solid because like that's kind of what they're known for is tasty, good pre-rolls. And it may not be the brand. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat if you're from Michigan. But there's a lot of people who I think they're starting to understand that this is your business card or your sample at the store. You don't go somewhere to a local grocery store and you've got somebody sampling like that ass end of bread. They're giving you a good piece of the loaf. You know what I'm saying? And they're not cutting off the back piece of a pepperoni and be like, here's the little tip of it. Try these. We got 50 tips for everybody. And it's like, no, they're giving you the best possible piece to lure you in to be a for life customer. that's what these infused products should do. And not just that, I think the future, and I've seen this, the number of statistics from here to California of just looking at market research, and essentially infused joints and joints as alone are the most popular consumer product when you go to stores.
Easy,
just
baby. Easy, baby.
Because, and I think that's where the future is going to go. Only us old heads are going to be getting straight flour.
Oh, you think
You're gonna go-
pre-rolls are the way to go? Or
No,
gonna be
no,
the future?
no, I don't think
no,
they're the way to go.
sorry. No, I didn't mean
I
to
think
put words
that
in your mouth.
that
You think
that
pre-rolls
ready
are
to
gonna be the future?
ready to consume product.
Okay, that's fair.
That's
I
what I
disagree.
mean.
The pre-rolls are the answer, but ready to consume.
Ready to
product
consume
is.
product.
Carts typically are the answer. To
Oh
that.
yeah, but
And-
you look
and
at
so on.
sales like, and this is California and Michigan and Colorado primarily. But the most sales are pre-rolls, and then second would be cartridges, and then or vaporizer products, extracts kind of fall into the same area, and then you're going to see flour, edibles, and things like that. But it's always the pre-rolls are insanely high, and then what's taking over is the infused pre-rolls, because even you and I type of people will be like, oh, that's a unique special thing. I don't have those products. I don't have a bunch of that stuff at home unless you make your own extracts. But you and we've all talked about it. I barely even trim my bud now because I don't keep most of the stuff to make extracts. I just don't.
Eat my bud.
You know, I don't care. That's where I'm at. And some people would beg to differ. Like, I remember me and Trey made our own moon rock. So the infusion of a moon rock nowadays, oftentimes, and it shouldn't be, is using distillate and rolling that into keef. But a lot of people will use, they'll use live resin. Me and Trey use shatter. We use BHO essentially, and it was really tasty shatter. Got it malleable, and then rolled the nug into it, and then had that a little warmed up and
I
rolled
enjoyed
that
the
into keef.
shatter days, man.
It was so tasty though, and then pulling that pull of it, the snap of seeing like the sticky ooey gooiness was dank. But then you get these nugs nowadays that are distillate covered, and it's like a rock in your bowl. Or when you try to smoke a blunt, it's just like so incredibly harsh that you're just choking, and that's not medicinal. You do get like inebriated to the point where you're like literally the couch girl, just, you're no fun when you do moon rocks, like just out cold.
Yeah, that's.
But that's the other area of infusion that a lot of us home growers will still go to the stores for, or still shop for. We're not oftentimes going for flour, you know.
Buddy of mine who was in Vegas actually had moon rocks similar to what you explained, but he got it from a smoke shop, and it was CBD. And he got it, vacation dude. He's not like a heavy smoker, so he had THC products, but he also wanted the CBD because he wanted to reduce the amount he felt off of the THC. So he ended up buying this
That's
while he was on
fair.
vacation. And I was curious, so I tried it out, and it was that chemically dominant taste. It was just
Artificial
such a turn
terpenes.
off. But it was exactly like you mentioned, the gooiness, just like your typical moon rock, and it was just another not good experience for me. And
Wink, you remember the
0 for
Neptune
2.
nugs? Those dog shit, nasty things they made at Franklin Fields. And I was like, here's how we do them, guys. They're like, nah, we got a ton of distillate, and the market doesn't want distillate right now. So what we're going to do is give them distillate. Yeah, you put in, goes out. And the thing is we knew this because when it was flour that was decent flour, and then you put it was like, well, if it didn't have this on there, the flour was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But what they do is they put the trash flour with trash distillate and trash keef all together. And it's like, what the?
But together it
Using
makes
byproduct.
a 15% THC experience.
No.
I
It'll make a 35 to 40 to 60% THC
Oh.
experience. And that's where they hustle you. And not just that nug,
just for
that
cardboard.
nug is
terps.
0.3. You're
Right.
having the distillate
Right.
and the keef that weighs so much on there that you literally can barely roll a joint or a bowl or anything with the tiny amount of flour that you get.
No
Like,
dice
it's-
for me,
it's-
baby. We spend a lot of time talking about like infused J's, infused nugs, wrapping up in oil.
What about curtains,
Infused curtains and pillowcases. What about
condoms,
gummies? What about drinks?
edibles,
The
and-
world
yeah.
of infusion, which
Beverages.
is like, in a way, you said this earlier, a way that you can take consumption on the go. infused drinks,
Infusion.
gummies, like food in general. Let's just say food, gummies, whatever
Consumption.
it is.
Or
Infused
Edibles.
food, edibles. Thank you.
Edibles, that's the word.
Yep, that's the word that
What a
most people would use.
word.
What a
Dude.
word. Let's
Like,
can we
why is
say
he
that you
dancing around
invented
that
this?
word so much?
I thought
Okay,
it was
Mr.
called
Grow It.
infused foods and drinks.
VPD, edibles. What else are you gonna invent?
What
bud?
is
This
he-
man
Yeah,
invented
right.
edibles over here. I had no
Shut
idea
the
that this
heck
what we. All right.
So I just, there's,
right.
there's a huge world out there when it comes to an edible infused food. I'm going to keep it at that.
Yeah.
Edibles. I know here in Canada, the big thing with us is infused drinks.
Okay.
We have had-
Is it big? Is it a big market?
It is, dude.
It
That's
is.
that's where I remember I was telling you about. Shout out to Sweet Justice, solid crew.
Yep.
They are a tiny crew. They used to work for Coca-Cola, and they're a group of like 4 who are like, dude, this is where it needs to be. Is these infused drinks, and their drink
Here's-
is the only one that's stomachable. Like every
here's
other
the
one I've
thing
had
is
is disgusting.
Infused drinks.
Don't get you high at
edible
all.
drinks. Well, they don't. Here's the thing: is
10
it's
milligrams.
10 milligrams for the
5.
the
I think it's
state.
5 and 5 on most of the products too, because they'll put
CBD and
CBD.
THC?
Yeah.
I
So they're
don't know. But all I know is 10 milligrams is what's on the front register. How they break that up, I think it's just THC, but I'm not certain. Now, over the years we've been waiting for these drinks to be released to get to the public eye. Jones Cola, we're familiar. You got the Jones.
Oh,
Cola
you
in
had one of
America?
those recently, didn't you?
I did. I
Yeah.
posted it on my
Stone
Instagram.
Cold Sober. I saw
Wait,
that.
do you have Jones Cola?
Jones.
in
Oh, we got
America?
Jones. You know Jones. Those
Jones
fruity
soda.
soda.
Sorry, not
You call it cola?
Jones Cola. No, I don't. I did there.
Pop.
But because I had hiccups, I didn't say it. That's what you heard. They said that they were going to reach the market. They were going to breach the market in like 2019, if I'm not mistaken. I covered this on
Lime?
Wednesday Night Live show before it was Tea with P, and I remember that there was a lot of hype that Jones Soda was going to start releasing incredible infused drinks, because I love Jones. Jones is a quality soda.
It's like a craft soda.
If I may, it's
Legitimately
probably
known
one
as
of
a
the
craft
best
soda.
sodas you'll have, whether it's cola or Pepsi. This is probably the best soda you'll ever have. And they announced that they were going to come into the Canadian market. Nobody, like there were a couple. That's the standard names: Tweed, Spinach. I think there's another one of them. They managed
Canopy had a brand, I believe, too.
You're probably right. They managed to get to the market first. Obviously, they had domination, but it's like they waited for Jones to come around and just release the best tasting one. The other ones are, I shouldn't say that. It's subjective. That's
a
all
lot
subjective.
of them have a
People are gonna be
metallic.
like, no, I loved the Tweed ones.
They have a distillate.
Some of
You
them are
taste
good.
the distillate.
They don't taste good, and I didn't like the Jones one. I don't like the Jones one. It's not. It's bitter. It's that typical.
It's got that metallic-y tint, some sort of like, the bitterness. That's what it is.
taste. It's taste.
not
It's like
even a-
when
it's a
someone
distillate
when someone
we
hands
taste.
you a cookie.
Metal.
When someone hands you a cookie, or it's like I made these gummies for you. It's like, oh, and yeah, they've got a little herb in them. You can taste it, and sometimes you can taste more than you can just feel in the back of your throat. That scratchiness, and does that as someone who's gone up to his own buds and eaten the top of a bud off. There's a bitterness to the plant that is very tough to overcome, that I feel is left in the infused market still. You can hide it, but I feel like that's just with masking of coconut oil or whatever, these coconut butter, these dominating scents and recipes.
Yeah, so you guys can't see it on the screen. Sorry.
Sweet
but
Justice, 4 bottles, orange. I remember the
the
bottles.
price is insane, though.
I remember those, and that's
But-
your typical look for a bottle.
Yeah, so these guys there. And again, giving them
You
shout
can
out.
get-
I don't work with them. I've worked with them in the past. Dude, we were gonna, if it wasn't for the poser non-smoking people who run Franklin Fields, I was trying to set up something to work with you, and they're like, "Oh, let us know."
Yep. Oh, okay, great.
Great crew though.
Yeah.
Shout out Jocelyn. and the
I
crew,
don't think
but,
I've ever had
dude,
one.
I was so skeptical, and I was such a hater, and I was the director of marketing, and I was hearing this as a drink. I was like, "Drop it! Don't do it! It's shit." And then they brought it in, and I tried it, and other than the fact that they had Dumbo 1 and 2 in the back running, trying to make soda for the first time in their lives and couldn't get carbonation right, I was blown away by the fact that I was like, dude, this tastes fire. Like, I was taking them home for mixers because 10 milligrams with a little bit of vodka
is nothing.
was a hitter, though.
So I mean, like 10 milligrams is a nice blend with
With
something
some,
else.
yeah, but dude,
Yeah,
like the flavor of it was so good that I enjoyed it like a soda. And then it's like a lot of these brands that come with these recipes, they either add way too much sugar to make it tastes decent, but then it's too sugary, or they don't have enough of the right flavor. Add the THC to give you the effect, and it tastes like it's metallic tasting and bitter and nasty and not refreshing. You need to drink it with water.
I don't want to take away from the infusion market because there is a market there, and we're using the Canadian example.
It's the biggest market for beverages,
which is a horrible
period.
example to use because it's only 10 milligrams.
It's only 10 milligrams where I'm at, other than 100 for the nastiest ones.
It needs to be more. There needs to be levels. You know, I know you can't get levels when it comes to a Red Bull.
10 milligrams is the normal.
It's the max
normal.
here.
That's the max.
So
that's the limit.
Yeah, so that's why when they came to Michigan, you can go up to 100. You can go up to 100.
I was gonna say that's the normal dose for like an edible. You usually say, "Oh, standard dose 10 milligrams." So it's interesting to see that that's what they set as a drink.
True?
Yeah, but
Canada.
they're saying a piece of your thing that you just bought for $10. This is $10 a drink.
The whole
this
drink.
can this big, $10 for 10 milligrams. That's the problem I had.
Yeah.
It was $40 out the door.
When I can get a gummy.
Wasn't it 15
for 10 milligrams as well? Yeah.
No, it was 10. It was 10. You don't remember. If you were kissing up to the right
the
people,
lollipops.
You would get a deal, but the margins were so high on it. But it's because the demand is to get a good beverage that gets an effect to a person is wanted more than anything, because it's like the beverage market is multi-billion-dollar market.
It certainly would.
So
be.
they're trying to piggyback onto that, because then you can get mom and dad, you can get an uncle who doesn't like smoke flower or something. Well,
100%.
He does.
I
get to drink and
I got
have
a
it.
friend that's an ex-alcoholic, a recovering alcoholic. That's
He's
how you say it.
feeling better. His arms
He's a
are getting
quitter.
stronger, yeah. He's a full-on quitter.
But he really enjoys the 10 milligram. There's a place for these. Sorry, let me finish sentences before I start the next one. He really enjoys the 10 milligram drink, partying with the friends. Everybody else is drinking beer. He doesn't drink them. Enjoys his 10 milligrams. There's a place for them. There is. I think there needs to be a level for them. But as we cap out the episode, I really want to focus on, okay, let's be constructive. How do we fix this? Let's say the overwhelming problem we have concentrates in the realm of, say,
Infusion.
J's, or is that there is boof product being pushed. Okay, sorry. I would say the biggest problem with Infused J's and Nugs and so on and so forth is that they're trying to pass boof material as high quality at a premium price.
Yep.
What?
Ding, 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 ding.
Thank you. I know I'm right. I'm always right.
Boofing.
The thing is that, so you can ask how or in which ways would a company or we dispose of or capitalize on our poor product, because we are all gardeners. We know that every plant produces product that is which is subpar to the product above it. Let's leave it at that. The plant, you're going to have underdeveloped buds, maybe smaller buds. Maybe you had a plant that didn't work out. Let's say we're working in a mass here where we have an operation where the right side of the room is a little weaker. We're working a mass. The right side of the room is a little closer to the air conditioner, so it's maybe a little cooler. That stuff is weaker. If you look at an agricultural field, it's flat. It dips because of water, comes up and goes. The growth of the field all the way across until the dip is vibrant. As soon as you get dip where the abundance of moisture, for this example, is too much, that growth doesn't enjoy the best experience, so it becomes weaker. Everything else is great. So what would a producer do, or what would we do if we had subpar product, but we still, this is the key, but we still want to make money? We still want to make product.
Oh,
feeding the chickens and feeding the homeless is a great idea.
Dude,
composting.
But okay. You're right. No, you're right. But I just want to hear how that is going to invest in the future, so that's not just completely lost money.
I was going to say was a way that you can potentially use it. But
dude, or again, quit growing the boof like that and get stuff that the market doesn't want. Green bud that just looks average. They want purple, crazy, triked out flower.
No, hold on. Okay, I can appreciate where you're going with this, but that it misses my point. Let's hypothetical for a second. The three of us are doing an operation. We have 1,500 plants. We've bagged up. We've harvested those 1,500 plants. They're amazing product. It's amazing products. It's great. But at the bottom of the barrels, after we're done selling everything else, there's a bunch of shake. a bunch of just larf. Not larf, but shake. It's just stuff that I really couldn't sell to everyone else and say, this is premium product.
Shake ounces.
Please for the amount that I'm offering.
$30 shake ounces.
So what should I, that's fair. Okay. This is my question is what do we do with that? Not just the shake though. Sometimes there's bottom buds. Sometimes there's stuff that you just can't sell.
The scraps.
And we don't expect them to throw it out.
$15.
They still sell it.
$15
wholesale.
They do, but what do we do with it? What should we do with it? Because I guess what I'm trying to get at is like
trim your larf.
I expect these, but then what? But then what do you do? What do you do with it?
Grow better weeds.
But what do you do with it? So I want to be constructive because we have a massive operation, 1,500 plants. Some of those plants
we do.
Some of those plants didn't get the attention they deserve. There's a corner in the back. There's a corner in the back where they're a little bit closer to the air conditioner. I just want to think that's how operations work. You can't. It's very hard to manage a full 1,500 plants, or let's go bigger than that, 30,000 plants. How do you operate? You're gonna have a million.
1 billion.
You're gonna hold on, please. You're gonna have product that is subpar.
Yeah.
And we are now criticizing these companies for taking that subpar product, rolling it in a joint, turning it into extracts, and selling it to the people.
Product.
So what my question is, what do they do with that product? How does From the Stash save the world?
From the Stash comes up with a product called mids, and you sell bags of mids, that stemmy, leafy stuff, and the mids is that, and it's like, damn, this mid still blows good though. It's like, yeah.
Fair. That's one.
Edibles are turned into a concentrate.
That's another. You said to feed off what you just said. You said compost. Sure, there's no money there. There's no money direct. But now you're not.
He likes earth, and he has a kid.
You throw it into your compost. Well, now you're not spending money on fertilizer. It's now part of your compost, so that you now feed into the system.
Exactly. That's not the commercial grower.
Okay, so that's another way.
Commercial growers got to worry about microbe issues and situations for testing, though.
Not many living soil facilities don't have compost somewhere in a different building or a different area.
Dude, I've never seen.
They got it out the back door. No, I'm asking.
Oh yeah, I've never seen one.
Never seen it.
No, most of the organic places that I go to, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're living soil," and then I see all these bottles of shit, and I'm like, "That's okay. Yeah, it's an organic nutrient line, and I guess your soil's organic, and yeah, you're technically organic. Well, at least you use Stash Blend." You know,
that's
cool.
how From the Stash saves the world.
That's all I wanted to hear.
Stash Blend saves the world.
Yeah, I think you were itching to give your answer.
No, I really wasn't. I really just wanted.
He was itching for an answer.
I wanted an answer out of us.
Come on, what is it, Chris? What is it, Rob?
We see it time and time again. My buddy Rob was sitting in the back of the car with a pre-roll, went to go light it, and the whole thing blew out on top.
Fell on me.
So what would cookies? That's what I was trying to get. What would Burner do for that? Rather than tucking it into
think about Dawson Duds,
pre-roll.
man. I'm gonna give a shout out to Brothers Broadleafs. They don't pay me nothing. They sell a product called Dawson's Duds and Paxton's Pearls. And Dawson's Duds may have some issues. And they're totally cool about that. And they're like, hey, if you have an issue, let us know. Hit us up. That way. And they're affordable and they're dank and they sell out constantly. They're great. They're great wraps. I should have bought multiple bags and brought them to Canada. But I didn't. And here we are. And I'm a doobie brother now. And I'm not mad at it. They've been decent doobies. You gotta admit, they're not bad.
No. And I'm 100%. That's all I was getting at.
Just transparency, man. Be trans about it, you know.
If you're not, then it's like you have something to hide.
That's what. And that's literally what the issue is. As a consumer,
I don't want to hide. Don't hide. I'll give respect to Goblin from Pine Park, Pine Park. He said that I've got a bunch of boof. It smells like it's horrible. It tastes like ass. You're not gonna like it. It's $30 an ounce. If you want it or not, take it or leave it. People were like, yeah, I'll take it. Thanks for being honest. That to me is okay.
Yeah, we get transparent.
This kind of jumps into the copycat conversation that I think is bigger than this.
And that he stands on his shit. He's like, hey, yeah, I took it. It's somebody else.
If you're going to be transparent, my infusions are going to be stuff that is mediocre, but wrapped in the best stuff.
Chill It OG by Copycat Genetics. That's going to be crazy.
Don't even put that out there.
That's going to be crazy.
That's part of an ad. You just saw that right there. Rob was advertising.
That's when you made it big. People are breeding his product already where they're going to forget. It should have been called like Grow It OG or something. Because I'm telling you, dude,
It's
like
coming. No,
people
don't put
do
it out there. That's that essence.
Maybe it'll give me
We're
some
not
more
gonna make it
rep.
happen.
That'd be a good
honestly,
thing for
that's what
me.
I'm saying though.
This
Like
is a
I
whole,
really will,
this is a
dude.
whole
That's
other
exactly what I'm
episode,
saying,
boys.
bro.
Huge shout out to our
Rip-offs
patrons
in the game.
Huge shout out to our patrons for allowing us to make this
Dude,
kind of
all
content.
you guys right here
to
who are
spew
going
out
across
Lord
the tray.
knows what, and we can talk over each other like you can actually hear what we're saying one at a time. We appreciate you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you for the support. We love you, and we cannot wait for you to tune in next Sunday.
StassMerch.com.
Live, baby, for our next episode. That's the premium. We've got more. Go and check that out. Huge shout out to Wink on the P's and Q's.
Wink.
That's the Canadian
One love.
experience. I'm Pigeons. That's Rob. That's Chris.
And
We'll see you
we're
next
from
week.
the stash. One time we're gonna get that.
Peace.